Everyone, welcome. Welcome to Create App-like Experiences on Google Search and the Assistant. I'm Alan Harvey. I'm a product manager on Google Search, and I'm really excited you all are here. We're going to talk about a new set of capabilities that we're enabling for you all to use to create app-like experiences on Google Search and the Assistant. These are new capabilities not released before, and we're really excited that you're here to learn about them. So what am I going to cover today? 4 things. So I'm going to introduce a new way to engage users on Search and the Assistant. I'm going to highlight these unique new capabilities and talk about why they can work for you all. I'm going to show you how to create one live on stage and see it appear on Search. And then I'm going to explain how you can get involved. So as you all know, Google's mission and Google Search's mission is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. As a product manager on Search, this is what I work on every day, figuring out new ways that we can make Search more useful to help people find information more quickly and easily. And Search has started out with blue links. You're all familiar with them, and they look something like this on the left. And over time, we've added rich new formats, such as structured data and content, carousels, larger images, all working to make Search more useful for everybody who comes and uses it. And we've also added ways to make Search more interactive. So for example, if you search for how many calories are in an apple, you get a simple interactive experience like this. It tells you the answer right on Search, but you can choose, say, the varietal of apples in the drop-down, or the amount in the second drop-down. Now, this is a simple interactive component, but it makes Search much more valuable for people who come looking for help. Of course, if you keep looking, say, how many meters are in a yard, you'll get an experience that shows you the conversion right on Search. Same simple drop-downs there, but a few more of them, and also different types of inputs we're starting to introduce. Here you can type answers, type numbers and information right into Search and see the answer change right on the search results page. And of course, there's the translation capability we all know and love. If you search for, say, how do I say love in French, you get the translation right on Search. And you can tap in and change it. You can see the translation update in real time. You can change which language you translate between. And you can expand the experience to see more, see more details about that translation. All of this is starting to introduce more interactivity to the search results page. And if you think about other rich experiences we have, such as weather or sports, where you see rich experiences that are interactive, helping users find what they're looking for more quickly and easily on Search. And while we love these experiences, we know there's more to do. You all have created some of the most engaging and rich experiences on the internet, whether you're a web developer, an assistant developer, or a native app developer. And we said, how can we expand upon this? How can we help web developers bring rich, interactive app-like experiences to Search? For example, you have interactive, actionable workflows on your sites that help users get things done, to help you put the best foot forward when somebody comes to your site or service. How could we help you bring the beginning of that to Search so you can engage users right on the search results page so they can start that journey right on Search or the Assistant? Or if you're an assistant developer and say you want to create an action that has a visual aspect to it, how can you build one that works both on Search and the Assistant? How can we enable you to bring those visual actions that would work for both services and build them? And finally, if you're a native app developer, many of you may have static download pages to engage users and tell them why they should download your application. But how can we help you move beyond a static download page on the web and engage users with a focused subset of that functionality right on Search or the Assistant so they start to get a feel for your service or product right away? In short, we asked ourselves, how can we go from interactive experiences created by Google to rich, interactive, app-like experiences created by you all? So today I'm excited to announce that we're introducing mini apps. So mini apps are a new capability on Search in the Assistant that enable you all to engage users with interactive flows and live content right on each surface. These capabilities are new, and we're going to give you an early preview of this and talk about how it'll work and how you can get involved. And we're excited to be introducing this today. All right, so why build a mini app? So mini apps appear right on the search results page among the blue links. For example, a set of blue links on the left, and if you're an online course providing company here, you could create a mini app that will appear right among the blue links and show a rich interactive set of results. In this case, an online course provider might want to show its most popular classes when somebody searches for them to make sure users see all the rich content that they offer right away, right on search. They might want to add interactivity so a user can discover what classes are available by tapping in to see which start this week, or those that are made for beginners. Mini apps enable you to bring your live content and interactivity right to search. But that's just the first page of a mini app. Mini apps can do more. They're designed to make sure you can build an experience for users that help you put your best foot forward and engage with the products and services you offer in unique ways on search. In this case, this online course provider has wanted to tell users about the latest offerings they have and let them discover more. For example, on the first page, they would see those most popular classes, but a user could tap on one, say Google Cloud Certification, and see more about the course. But the user's journey doesn't stop there. Mini apps enable you to hand off the user to the best place on your site or service to engage them. For example, if a user decides they like this class, they can tap more info to go to your site, or if they wanted to enroll right now, they could tap enroll in this course and go to the right place on your site to begin enrolling immediately. Of course, they can also click View More Courses, go back and see the full carousel of offerings that were appearing right on the search results page. This new capability is designed to enable you all to engage users with the key aspects of your offering right on the surface. But many of you may not have real-time offerings like this you want to show. What if you need to help users look up more information? Mini apps can also do that. Say I'm a shipping company and I want to help users find the status of a package right away. This this example mini app we've created here, on the left you see when I look to track a package number with this shipping company, the mini app appears right in the search results page and prompts the user for input. The user taps in and you get this expansive experience that you see there in the middle. User puts in their package tracking information, clicks track, and sees the real-time status of the package appear right on search. Now that real-time information comes because mini apps make a call to your APIs and infrastructure to get the real-time content. So when you create a mini app, the mini app calls in real time your infrastructure to make sure it's serving the content that you know is the latest that you want users to see. But even in this case, the user journey doesn't stop there. It's decided by the company that creates the mini app. If you wanted to enable users to call you to get more information, say there was an exception in the package tracking journey and the user needs to call to understand what happened, say there's more functionality and capability you offer on your site, a user could tap through to say redirect a package or view more information about the package. And finally, if they wanted to track another one, a user could click track another package, go back to the middle screen, and engage right with your rich experience right on search and the assistant. So mini apps, to help you bring these rich capabilities to search in the assistant, we said they had to do a couple of things. You saw them throughout the examples. First, they had to help you all bring interactive workflows to search. You all have built wonderful services and capabilities, and how can we help you help users begin the journey right on search? Starting with interactive workflows that take user input. So as you saw, mini apps can take user input and return results right in line. Second are dynamic updates. So mini apps because they're powered by webhooks, they can show live content right on search and refresh the results as new information comes in. And finally, of course, there's on-surface fulfillment. Mini apps show right on search and right on the assistant, enabling you to put your best foot forward to show users the key aspects of your product and service right on search and the assistant. But that's not all. We know you all have built wonderful journeys. We don't expect you to have to recreate the full journey on the search results page or on the assistant. If you take a look at that first one we talked about, the course exploration mini app example, here the user completed the initial steps of that journey on search. They found the popular courses that were interesting for them, or they saw those that were available, those that were starting soon. But then the mini app handed the user off to your service or app to continue and complete the journey. Now, there may be cases where you want to offer the most premium experience you can and make sure the user can do everything right on the search results page. This case is the shipping company wanted to provide the complete package tracking information right on search. Mini app can do that too. So you can help users begin a crucial piece of their journey and get a single thing done, such as discovering the course they like, or complete the full journey, such as finding the status of their package. They're designed to be able to fit the needs of the users you need to engage to help them to get something done on search and get a good feel for your services and products. Okay, so I've talked a little bit about mini apps, how we've designed them, the key capabilities we have. We've also built a few, and we wanted to demonstrate how they feel and look, because one of the key aspects of them is they're really fast and feel really wonderful on search. So let me pull one up and demonstrate it in front of you right now. So I've got a Pixel 3 here, and I'm going to make sure you can see it. Great. So this is a demonstration mini app that we've put together using some of the live content from Coursera. It looks very similar to the demonstration app I showed, and it's appearing right here on the search results page. So in this case, I've looked for Coursera Machine Learning. You see the mini app there appearing among the blue links right on search. It's fully interactive. You can swipe around and quickly see more courses and offerings. I think this Google Cloud, how Google does machine learning, is pretty interesting. I can tap in, and I can quickly get information. You saw that actually load in real time. That was a webhook call to actually get the content to appear right on the search results page. This looks interesting, but I want to look around a little bit more. I can tap in if I want to filter by TensorFlow, because I'm interested in machine learning courses about TensorFlow. Scroll through and see what's available. Serverless machine learning from Google Cloud looks interesting. Tap in, get that rich exploration capability. Tap back to see more courses. And even as a user, tap out, and I'm right back on the search results page. Now, keep in mind how fluid and fast this was, cutting down on frustration and churn for users, enabling you to engage them right on the surface with live content and interactivity. And once again, if I wanted to, I could tap through on more information or enroll now and to go directly to your site or service. Now, of course, the thing I promised was that these worked on both search and the assistant. So I'm going to switch over here, and we've created a demonstration mini app on the Google Home Hub as well. The goal of this is that the Google Home Hub mini app is powered by that same live content that powers the search one. But we've laid out the content a little bit differently just to show how it's suitable for the Home Hub as well. And mini apps can help you do this on both search and the assistant. I'll lean in because it's noisy, and we'll see if the Home Hub can show us Coursera's courses. Hey, Google, show me machine learning courses by Coursera.
Here is the list of machine learning courses.
So you see the same set of courses come up, powered by the same webhook and APIs. So this is a mini app working on both search and working on the assistant. I can tap in to see more information. just like I could on the mini app that was appearing on Google Search. You see the same information here. It's scrollable. Same content appearing across multiple surfaces. I'll just swipe out of that to close. So in a nutshell, that's mini apps. They enable you to create these rich, interactive experiences, show up right on the search results page, and engage users with your unique content and offerings so users know what you can offer to them. So let's dig into how mini apps work, give you an understanding of how to create one and what you can do with them. All right, so how do mini apps work? I'm going to use this one. We're going to create a Hello World mini app today. I'm going to walk you through it, and I'll talk through the pieces of it. This Hello World mini app is fairly simple. It's got an image there. It's got some text, an input box, and an update button. I wanted to show off as simply as I could the input, the real-time interactivity right on search in the assistant. So in this one, you'd type in your name. In this case, type in some input. My name is Alan. Click Update, and the string will change. So instead of hello from Google I/O 2019, you'll get hello, Alan. Welcome to Google I/O 2019. So how do they work? Mini apps basically have two pieces to them. There's the app itself. We talked about this. There's the configuration information. There's the user interface definition. And I'll get into that a little bit in a minute. And then there's the triggering setup. So those are the three main components of a mini app you define. And then you set up a webhook that has the content and business logic for your mini app, so that when the mini app appears, it can call your webhook to get the latest information and to understand what it should show and how it should show it to the user. So a quick demonstration, when Google Search comes up and the mini app triggers, it says, hey, mini app, I need you to show on Google Search. The mini app says to the webhook, send me your content. Pretty quick and easy. The mini app turns around, in our case, returns that nice I/O 2019 image, returns the string. Mini app puts it together in the user interface definition and shows it right on search or the assistant. Now, where do you go to create them? So for mini apps, they're created in the Actions console. And why the Actions console? The Actions console has the ability to help you make mini apps that work cross-surface. So coming up in the early access program, mini apps will work on search with quick follow-ons for smart displays on Google Assistant, as well as smart display and Google Assistant on other devices. In addition, in the Actions console, there's basically 4 easy steps you follow to create one. We talked about this. You create the app configuration, you define your user interface for each surface, you set up triggering, and then, of course, you specify the location of your webhook. All right, I'm going to walk you through each step. They're quick and hopefully pretty simple. App configuration. And I'm going to use this app, the one we've been talking about, the Hello World app, and walk through a sample configuration with it. So in the Actions console, you'd go in and you define a quick app configuration for your app. You set up the name. We'll call this one the Google I/O mini app. Description, a Hello World mini app for Google I/O. Since I'm creating it, the company's Google, and the URL is google.com. And we'll say for now the supported languages and regions are E and US, just for the simple example here in this demo. And finally, I put an example webhook URL there in the configuration. But a lot of the magic in mini apps is from this library of UI components we offer. So I talked about how do you get a mini app to show on search in the assistant? Well, we've got a complete set of UI components you use. And mini apps on each surface need to be search and assistant UI and UX compatible. So we've created these mini apps so you don't have to sit there and build all new components yourself. So we offer a complete library of components. Here I've picked an example few. We've got text components and carousel components, chips, buttons, and images. We try to make it really easy for you to define the user interface of your mini app. For example, here's if you wanted to create the update button for our Hello World mini app. You simply say button, put in the text, put in an on event handler in there, and then you've got a button that meets search specifications and assistant specifications that'll appear right on each surface. Pretty simple and easy to say, hey, I need an update button in my mini app, and when it calls the webhook, set up some event handlers so I know what the user did. Of course, we don't want you to have to redefine your user interface every time. You take these set of components and you package them into what we call a UI template. In this case, I've taken the same set of 4 components, an image, a label, an input box, and some text, and we'll package them together in what we would call our UI template for search. This way I can reuse this template. I can use it in, you saw earlier, many apps have many pages in them. I could reuse templates in certain pages, all to make it so you don't have to rebuild the same UI time and time again. You can package them together and use them across different surfaces. And of course, the same would apply for something such as Assistant. So you could take those same components. Those components know how to work on each surface, but since each surface has different capabilities, you could lay them out in a different way. Here you see my text and image are now again side by side. The large text that I specified is now even larger because it knows what to do right on the Assistant. And some of the input boxes have turned into suggestion chips because you can just speak to the Assistant instead of typing in. So the goal here is we've wanted to make mini apps as simple as possible to create and set up to help you engage users on each surface. All right, so finally is triggering. Triggering is where you get a bit of Google magic with mini apps. So here's a really simple example. I've wanted to say, I want this mini app to show up on search when somebody types hello world or hello Google I/O. You notice I don't have to specify misspellings or typos. A lot of that is taken care of when you register your mini app for certain query examples. And it's neat things that when Google detects that your mini app should show, when these examples have happened, we'll make sure that the mini app gets the right inputs from the user and knows when to appear on search or the Assistant. OK, so mini apps are brand new. So I've walked through what they are. I've walked through how you'd create one and how they work. I'm going to build an example one right in front of you. We've got a quick developer quick start guide that I'm going to walk through and set up a mini app and show you that we can make one today. So I want to walk you through this. This is very early DevX. Mini apps are brand new from Google Search and the Assistant teams. So let's get started. I'm just going to quickly switch over to my laptop. All right, so I've pulled up mini apps developer quick start guide here. What I have going on is I've got welcome to developer quick start. This helps you get started. And we've got a developer console here for mini apps. I've created one already with this Hello World demo backup, but I'm going to come in and use what we have showing here to create one. I've got this app configuration here that I'm going to show everybody. So this mini app, we talked about it, right? Hello I/O mini app, a Hello World mini app. The provider is my company. We'll change that to Google, and it will change that to example.com. And right here, you can see the intents I've set up, so the Hello World intents, and I've specified the location of a webhook. So I'm just going to take this really quickly, and I'm going to put this in our console over here. And I'm going to create a new mini app. So I've got a backup one created, but I wanted to create a new one. So I'm going to create one right in front of us, set up this app configuration. So you see the app config here, Google I/O mini app, Hello World mini app. I'm going to change this to Google, since I'm creating this one. And I'm just click save on this mini app. Great, so it says saved, quick and easy. Come back here to this special place. Demo Hello World mini app, you saw that created. Now the next thing I need to do is define that user interface, right? So I said there is this set of components you can use to create a mini app. So I want to define this user interface really quickly. I'm going to come back here to my developer quick start. So in the user interface, what did I say I need? I said I needed some components, right? The first one was this image piece here. So I wanted to show off this image. The second one was a text block that I wanted to show off and put in a quick line in there. Then an input button for the input your name, and then a button to take the update. So I'm going to pull and take this here. I'm going to come on over here, my developer console, and define my user interface template. So this is pretty simple on the mini app, right? I've got my image, and that image, you notice, says it comes from payload.image URL. This means your webhook returning that live content puts that image right in the mini app. I've got the text block. For the mini app, we wanted to show that message, hello world, or hello from Google I/O, showing right on the search results page. So I've got payload.output message. That means pull from the webhook call that output message and show it in the mini app. And then we wanted that input button. And remember, for our app configuration here, we're triggering on this webhook I'm calling and hello world. So let me quickly go over and test this. And run one more time. I'm going to come back here, make sure that I configured everything okay, click save. Hello world. Oh, looks like there it goes. Sorry, a few hiccups reaching my webhook endpoint that I just set up. So I've got my hello world mini app working right there. Here's the user interface I defined. Here's the image. Here's the text string. I can type in right here on search. Update that. Hello, Alan. You saw that work right there live on the search results page. You can see the request we send out. So we talked about this, right? So it sends out, here's the input from that button, and the string value is Alan. And then you can see the response that comes back from the webhook. Hey, the payload, which we talked about, had that image URL in it, and it had the output message showing. So you saw that work right there on search. And I've created a mini app. Now, we've also gone and said, so I've got this, this Cloud Function webhook that's set up, and I'll go into this in a second. But what I've seen is you see this mini app working. So we've also created one that works on the assistant. And so I wanted to show that this webhook powers both the assistant and search. So let me invoke the mini app on the assistant really quickly. Hey, Google, show me the Hello World demo.
Hello from Google I/O 2019. What's your name?
My name is Alan.
Hello, Alan. Welcome to Google I/O 2019.
So there you saw the same application working right on search in the assistant. Give me 2 seconds here. I'm going to switch back to my laptop. And one of the things I wanted to do is, when I created this mini app, I used this image. So I used this image to create my mini app. But there's also this other great Google I/O image. And to show you how it updates in real time, I'm going to swap over to this image here. So I'm going to go over here. I've built this cloud function here to help us get started easily. It's just a simple JSON, takes a request and a response. And this is what the response is coming back for the mini app. And I'm going to swap over to this new image. It's a really quick, simple update. Here's the image URL. You saw here was the payload I specified earlier, and we're returning that image URL. Pretty quick and simple to update. Now, I'm going to deploy this. This takes a moment to deploy. So we'll let that deploy. But one of the things I wanted to talk through while that's deploying is what's exciting about mini apps is you can also get a quick preview of how they'll look on Google Search. So we see this View in Google Search button down here. I'm going to click this just while this happens. And you see, hey, look, showing right there in the Google Search Results page, I can get a nice preview of my mini app, get a feel for how it'll show right there on search. This is private to you. Only you can see that, but you can get a sense of how the mini app is working right on Google Search. So let me come back here. You see this mini app working. I'm going to check in on my Cloud Function. Still deploying. It takes a second here. And come back, and so there it is, the preview. And you could put anything in here just to show that it can take some live content. Right here on search, we'll update that. Hello, everyone. Showing that the mini app can take that input. Now my web function is deployed. I'm going to rerun my mini app here. And now you saw the image change because I deployed that new Cloud Function with the new image. So we've got the same APIs powering your mini app right on search, showing that They are powered by the same webhook calls that you saw me modify in that webhook. And now I'm going to switch back to the assistant, because that assistant mini app is also using that same webhook. And in the assistant, you'll see that the second image updates, because that's where it expects the payloader response. So let's see if this works right for us. Hey Google, show me the Hello World demo.
Hello from Google I/O 2019. What's your name?
My name is Alan.
Hello, Alan. Welcome to Google I/O 2019.
So you see the image change there. I updated it in the webhook. You see the same webhook response. You set up once, powering your application both on search and on Home Hub, making it simple to build a mini app that works cross-surface. All right, let's go back to the slides. So mini apps. They enable developers to engage users with interactive workflows and live content directly on Search and Assistant. And this is a brand new early adopters program that we're talking about today. This is brand new from us on Search and the Assistant. Brand new ways to engage users with interactive experiences and live content. Remember, they've got 3 key capabilities we wanted to introduce. They can take and respond to user input right in line on Search. They can show live content as new updates become available. And they enable you to engage users directly on each surface. And finally, of course, they have flexible handoff so that you can direct the user to the right place in your service so that they have the best experience on their journey. So if you have a use case where you can help a user accomplish a task or retrieve more information in a more delightful way using these capabilities, we want to hear from you. We want to hear what you can do with mini apps. We built these to enable you all to engage users on each surface using these unique new capabilities. So today I'm excited to announce that we're opening up an early adopters program for mini apps. The submissions are open now, and the invitations are coming in June for those first submissions. Please go to g.co/miniapps to get started. As I mentioned, we're really excited to say, what do you all want to build with mini apps? How can you all engage users on Search and the Assistant with mini apps? So thank you so much for your time. I'm Alan Harvey, and please visit g.co/miniapps to get started and tell me what you would like to create with them today. Thanks a lot.